Hi, everyone. I'm Matt Clark, research analyst with Money and Markets, here with your weekly marijuana market update. Again, before I start, I want to make sure that after you watch this video, that you do head over to moneyandmarkets.com, sign up for our free daily e-letter. Sunday to Saturday, you get a free e-letter that contains safe, sound, smart, simple, profitable investment information from myself, from Green Zone Fortune's co-editor Charles Sizemore, and our chief investment strategist Adam Odell. So go to moneymarkets.com today, sign up and get that safe, sound, smart, and simple profitable investment information every day for free. Now, today I'm going to dig into our inbox, which is feedback at moneyandmarkets.com for our discussion. This letter was sent to me by Joe. He said, "Good morning, Matt. I'm a member of Green Zone Fortunes, probably 90% because of you. I, too, am a numbers guy and enjoy listening to your breakdowns. I've been in a few of your watch list positions and have to say you've been spot on so far. Grow Generation was certainly the best. My question here is on POTN. I opened a position a couple years ago on a recommendation from another source, saw a spike, then it fell off. Could you take a look at this one for me? And again, thanks for what the three of you guys do, Joe." First off, Joe, thank you for the kind words. We all really enjoy what we do every day to provide people with safe, sound, smart, and simple profitable investment information. Now, secondly, I'm more than happy to look into the company. It is PotNetwork Holdings Incorporated. It does trade over the counter. The ticker symbol is POTN, so PotN, PotNetworks. I'll dive into the company first. I'll look at its financials, and then I'll wrap up with its stock performance. Now, Pot Holdings is just that. It's a holding company. And it's got numerous subsidiaries that are focused on, it says the cannabis industry, but it mostly focuses on CBD. There's not a lot of cannabis per se, but they do a lot of hemp-derived CBD. Now, some of its subsidiaries, and they've got about 24 of them, so I'm only going to mention a few of them. They've got Blue CBD Crystals Isolate, which is billed as a high-premium CBD brand. It's made from 100% natural hemp. Diamond CBD, this is another CBD brand that makes a variety of CBD products. This is kind of one of its flagship products. You've got Chill Plus Gummies, just what they are. They're hemp-derived CBD gummies. Relax Extreme CBD, it's a CBD oil that's delivered, it drops underneath your tongue. CBD Biotech Cream, it's a topical cream. It's used for sore muscles and other areas where you may experience some pain. Relax Vape Liquid, just what it is. It's a juice used for vaping. You have CBD Relief, which is a CBD reliefing vape pen that comes in a variety of flavors. CBD Double Shots, an organic shot of CBD that comes in a package of about yay big, and you just take a shot of it like you would a 5-hour energy or something like that. You have CBD, pet CBD food, just that. It is pet food that is for cats and dogs. Liquid Gold, it's another CBD oil the company says is carried in thousands of stores around the country. And then you have PotNetwork, which is actually its cannabis business website. Now, there are a lot of other products. They have partnerships with some celebrities, including Tommy Chong, Lawrence Taylor, and a few others. And in all, like I said, there's about 24 subsidiaries for PotNetwork Holdings. Now, it seems like it would be a pretty robust set of holdings to bring in a good amount of revenue. However, their books do tell a different story. Now, as you can see from this chart here, the company's total revenue was considerably less than $1 million per year from 2013 to 2015. There was a big spike from 2016 to 2018 when it reached a high of $25.6 million in total revenue. And then the revenue declined just as rapidly as it increased in the following years. Its trailing 12-month income as of September 30th of 2020, just $8.38 million. That's a 205% drop from its 2018 high. Again, it is higher than 13, 14, and 15, and even 16, but it is a precipitous drop from a massive high of $28 million. So it doesn't really sound good whenever you push your revenue up really, really high, and then all of a sudden in a year it drops off significantly. Now, it's no coincidence that 2017, 2018 were the only years where PotNetwork reported positive net income. As you can see in this chart, its net income took a nosedive in 2019 and for the trailing 12 months ending September 30th. For the first 9 months of 2019, the company registered a net loss of $384,000. That loss deepened to almost $1 million in the first 9 months of 2020. And remember, this is a time when other cannabis and CBD companies were actually doing very well amid the coronavirus pandemic. So it's a little off to me. And bear in mind, and also looking at the books here, the company actually reduced its operating expenses in 2020 by more than $2 million, and it still actually lost more money. The struggles in 2020 led to the company naming a new CEO after its former CEO resigned. It also appointed a new VP of product development. It did announce a 10-1 stocks a reverse split of its common shares and a simultaneous decrease in authorized common stock down to about 750 million shares. The theory here is the company would consolidate their shares and boost the company's share price. However, looking back at data points in various locations, I couldn't find where the stock split actually took place. It may have occurred. I just can't seem to find any record of it. PotNetwork stock hit a high of 85 cents per share back in January of 2018. Since then, the share price has nosedived. It's now trading, it was even trading below a penny. Right now, it's right in that penny range. In the last 3 years, the stock price for PotNetwork dropped about 95%. Its comparative industry, which is agriculture in this case, rose 21% over the course of the same time. Again, you don't necessarily have, it's not necessarily comparing apples to apples, but it is something that you can see in terms of just how deep the cut is for a company like PotNetwork when you compare it to agriculture. There's a lot of cannabis companies, traditional cannabis companies that are in the agriculture industry. So it does bear a little bit of comparison. Now, I could look deeper, and I found more, but this really told me all I needed to know. What I've already told you ahead has pretty much already painted the picture for me. There's even more. There's some lawsuits involved. I really don't get into that. Both as PotNetwork is the plaintiff and the defendant. But again, that's all other things that aren't, you can look up on your own and find out all the information. But the company was in trouble leading up to November 2020. That's clear. Its revenue took a massive hit, took a nosedive. Its net income was in the tank. So, they needed to make changes to get out of it. So they announced some changes to leadership, and they announced a stock split in order to try to bolster up that revenue, bolster up its stock price rather. But it's going to take more than a stock split and some changes in management to fix this problem. I think it's going to they're going to have to work very hard, and it's going to take a lot of time for this company to recover from its financial difficulties over the last 2 years. The bottom line here is, if there's light at the end of the tunnel for PotNetwork, it's quite far off. It's not there yet. And it's going to take a lot of time to get there. So is it worth your investment? Again, if you are okay with the volatility of a stock that trades at a penny and that is thinly traded at a penny at that, then you could look into it and hope for a bounce sometime down the road. When is that bounce going to happen? Really hard to say. The company's trying to make inroads, trying to turn some things around, but it's going to be a very, very long road to hoe for them. Now, I do want to take a little bit of time and talk about our Money and Markets Cannabis Watchlist. There's been some headwinds for cannabis stocks of late, and especially our best performer, which has been Grow Generation, as Joe mentioned. It has. It's been up as high as triple digits at one point in time. The big news is the supposed final adult use legislation legalization language in New York. Recreational use appears to be on track for legalization in the Empire State, but it will likely be at least a year before any sales start. So, it's great to see those inroads being made in New York, but New York is a state that's encountering a lot of difficulty in Albany. So it's going to be difficult to say just exactly when this gets pushed through, and then subsequently when all the regulations get put in place so they can begin selling. Now, as I look at our watch list, the average total gain of our 7 stocks is about 39%. So there have been some headwinds overall, but I'm still not concerned. I think this is cyclical. I think this is just a part of the nature of things. I'm not worried in the least about our 7 positions right now, and you really shouldn't be either. I mean, these are things that if you invest in cannabis stocks on a regular basis, you notice there are ups and downs all the time. Our ups happen to be high. Our lows also happen to be high. So, I'll take that. Here's a breakdown. I'm going to break down each one of our positions. I'll start off with Scott's Miracle-Gro. SMG is a ticker symbol. There's been added investment interest of the traditional fertilizer company. Zacks Investment recently purchased another 896 shares, which doesn't seem like a whole lot, but that's on top of the 22,000 they already own. SMG is up 44% since I put it on the watch list in September. It was only up 38% last week, so it's actually starting to grow and see nice momentum moving forward. Schweitzer Mounted International, its ticker symbol is SWM. Things remain fairly quiet for SWM. It had a great earnings beat and revenue beat in its most recent quarterly report. The stock is now up 64% since I added it to the watch list in September. Perkin-Elmer Incorporated, the testing company, recently on the non-cannabis side, announced expansion of its genetic portfolio with CRISPR interference, and now it is starting to tick back up again. This stock was down about even from where I had it in September. It's now up 8.1% since that time. Turning Point Brands, equity research analysis of B. Riley increased their earnings estimate for TPB for the current quarter to 65 cents a share. That's up from 64 cents previously. TPB is now up 64% since I put it on the watch list in October. GrowGeneration, it released its quarterly and yearly earnings report. The company increased its Q4 revenue by 144%, but its quarterly revenue earnings per share did miss Wall Street projections by about 5 cents a share. That caused some pressure to the stock. The stock has pared back. Their shares are now up about 52% since I added it in November. You can trade on headlines and all that, but again, it's cannabis stock, so you have to be very cautious. I'd say just it's still a good time to hold it and not do anything with it. You could even add to your position because the price is down, and maybe you can see even more gains as you move forward. Planet 13 Holdings, things have been fairly quiet for this Nevada-based cannabis company. Its California expansion continues. They've increased their presence in Nevada now to 53 dispensaries, and at least 3 research firms have initiated coverage on the company. Planet 13 shares are up about 2%. Since I added it in January. High Tide, this company recently completed its purchase of Smoke Cartel Incorporated for $8 million. Only most of that is a stock share. They didn't spend a lot of cash to do that, which was a very savvy move by High Tide. The company recently opened 2 stores in underserved areas of Calgary in Canada. High Tide also announced its earnings release. They plan on releasing their earnings for the last quarter on March 31st. We'll keep an eye on that. So far, High Tide stock is up 6.3%. in just a few weeks. So very encouraged by High Tide. A good quarterly report could boost that even higher. I'm going to keep a watch on the cannabis market as I do each and every day. I'll let you know if possible if there's any changes we made to our watch list or any news you need to be aware of. But also stay tuned to our YouTube channel coming up later this week. We'll have much more. We'll have the Bull and the Bear podcast coming on the weekend, plus our Money Markets week ahead. We've got our Ask Adam Anything, where you have the opportunity to sit down and ask our chief investment strategist, Adam O'Dell, any question you like, and he will answer it. Investing with Charles Sizemore, co-editor of Green Zone Fortunes, is also doing a weekly video series where he talks about investing in particular stocks. So check that out as well. All that is on our YouTube channel. Go to youtube.com. You're already there. So just look at all the different playlists we have and check out all the information. And also check out moneymarkets.com every day for new content. Provide safe, sound, smart, and simple profitable investment information for you. Sign up for our daily e-letter as well. You get an email in your inbox every morning, Sunday to Saturday, and you'll have all that great information at your fingertips for free. So I'm Matt Clark, research analyst for Money Markets, your host of the Bull and the Bear podcast, the marijuana market update, and the week ahead. Until next time, everyone, safe trading.